Let's get another point of view. And this Doug Schoen, you know him. He was very good during the election cycle for us. He's a Democrat political strategist, author of the book Politics of Life, and he joins us from Miami. All right, my analysis, is it foolish, naive, misleading? What do you think?
I think you're basically on the money, Bill. We're in the midst of a man-made crisis that could resolve itself shortly, or it could resolve itself over time. The dominant sentiment I pick up in the polling we were doing is uncertainty combined with, as you said correctly, Bill, doubt in the quality and judgment of our administration. Not dismissal, but deep, deep uncertainty.
But why would they be uncertain if the border has worked, if the Doge thing has uncovered billions of dollars of wasteful spending, if the DEI stuff is out, which most Americans don't want? Why would there be uncertainty about Trump? So far, he's doing pretty well, right?
Inflation, Bill. We still haven't had prices come down. The average guy going to the supermarket hasn't seen a material benefit in his life. And that is his Achilles heel now, as it was Joe Biden.
All right, so inflation remains stubborn. Although where I live on Long Island, gas is down. Okay, it went below $3 a gallon over the weekend. Eggs are down 50%, you know, because the bird flu thing is subsided. I'm not in the grocery store all that often, but I'll take your word for it that across the board in most parts of the country, you haven't seen a lot of relief. All right, so that the folks, the ones that voted for Trump, are they going to bail now that their stock and bond portfolio is cratering? Do you believe they are going to bail?
The way I see it, Bill, is first to start with where I think I agree and where you're right. The 35% who are the MAGA crowd, they're with him come hell or high water. They're going to stay. There's no doubt there. The next 15, 16% that gave him his narrow majority in the popular vote, they're asking questions. What's happening to my 401k? Is inflation coming down? Are we in an unstable situation in the Middle East and with Russia and Ukraine? Not that they've turned on Trump. They haven't. He's at his highest level of approval ever recorded for him. But there's doubt, and the doubt is, I think, been exacerbated by the events of the last couple of days of last week and today.
All right, that polling is going to go down for him. You know that. Everybody knows that. You know, it's been 4 days. And the market today, as I say, is up and down and in and out. But the market can come back. I firmly believe that. I mean, I can't give financial advice to people. But in my column, I said, you know, if you panic in any part of life, not just here, that's not going to be a positive for you. You gotta maintain. And if you believe in what you bought, the companies that you bought, it's not going to be as smooth as you thought, but dumping them now at a low level, you're never going to get it back. But if you hold them...
I don't give financial advice either, but as a life lesson, Bill, that is very good advice. And Warren Buffett said basically the same thing you said in your talking points memo, which is if you're worried about the markets in your portfolio, don't look.
Don't look. I mean, but the frustration is there are a lot of older people and a lot of people who have got college funds and they're getting hurt and they might need the money. And that's just the vagaries of life. I mean, sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. Now, the Democratic Party, your party, should be able to take advantage of this kind of chaos. Any political chaos works for the opposition. But because it has no leader, no one, it can't take advantage of it. Am I wrong?
It can only take advantage of it if, as you suggest, I think correctly, Trump's numbers and the Republican numbers come down. If the Republicans are able to keep their majority in both houses.
But let's assume that they do come down. let's assume that a week from now, on the 14th of April, that Trump's approval rating slides to the low 40s, which it could.
Yeah.
Who's going to step up on the Democratic side?
We don't have a leader.
Yeah.
In a midterm, you can win a midterm. As your talking point, Memo, your word was grisly. I think the results can be grisly. 2028, we don't have a leader. There's nobody on the horizon. Agree with the overall assessment.
All right. But it's still too early for the midterms. It's 19 months now for the midterms.
Right.
So,
but the Democrats are running against Trump, not for any ideas. That's for sure.
No. But as you know better than anybody in this country, because you do this for a living and have done it for a long time, I think since U.S. Grant, you've been in the game,
right.
Okay, that if you tear down a president, that's hard to reverse. So you saw with Biden. So Biden just got into one mess after another, and people just lost confidence in him. But Trump is a different cat, as Dennis Miller would say. So Trump is defiant. My vision is going to work. Now, 6 months from now, in the fall, if it's still inflation is still high, prices aren't down. In fact, if they go up and the stock market is still just impossible, then I think Trump will have damaged himself beyond repair. But I think he's got 6 months. Am I wrong?
I would agree with that, but I would tell you the economy has to improve vis-a-vis inflation and prices. And bottom line, there has to be a relatively quick solution vis-a-vis the tariffs. We just can't go indefinitely with this uncertainty.
All right. Last question. I think the tariff thing is going to work out with Europe. I think it'll work out with Canada and Mexico. But China is a different story. So China seems to be itching for some kind of confrontation. I don't really know why, because the Chinese economy is very shaky. How do you see that?
I agree with you. That conflict, if it be limited to China, Bill, I believe Donald Trump will be supported by the American people en masse if he puts tougher retaliatory tariffs on the Chinese. If the rest of the world is resolved in the way you suggest, I think this will have a soft landing and a happy ending.
No, I don't know about happy ending because it's Donald Trump. All right, Doug. Thanks very much. We always enjoy
Bill,
talking.
Thank you. Always.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on X. Look for @Bill O'Reilly.